Hey Monica! This video is brought to you by Emily at 1:54 in the morning because I got home maybe an hour, maybe half an hour ago, something like that, and I was going to get up at 5, so we're just gonna film this tonight. So in your last video you talked about 5 things that you are obsessed with. Now I thought that was a really good idea, but when I thought about it, I realized that actually most of my head at the current moment is taken up by one thing. And you may be able to guess what it is, given the content of my last video. But my head has kind of been filled with K-pop things recently. I mean, one reason could be that I have joined one group on campus that is just for Korean music. And then I may or may not be joining another organization having to do with Korean stuff. But the main reason that I'm really obsessed right now is because of one event. So one of my favorite groups in K-pop, I think you know who they are, I think I've shown them to you before, but it's a girl group called FX. Now the thing is, I love FX. They're amazing, they're awesome, but they only get about maybe like one comeback a year. And in general, from what I've seen, it seems like most groups get maybe 2 or 3 comebacks a year. Like it's slightly harder to find content about them just because they don't have as many comebacks and all that kind of stuff. But as you may know, I think the songs that I showed you were from their most recent album, Red Light, which came out this summer, and you probably saw this. I was very, very, very excited because, you know, it's their comeback. And you know, it was like, okay, FX has had their comeback. Awesome. I'm not gonna get my hopes up that any more big things in terms of the group as a whole are really gonna happen. But then, something really big happened. So my favorite member of FX, also known as my bias, is the member Amber Liu. She is just awesome and dorky and just great in any aspect. She's awesome. And in December, there were rumors and hints that Amber may have a solo debut. Now, I kind of freaked out, but then I think it was either really, really, really late December or in January that SM, the company that they're with, confirmed that Amber was indeed working on a solo album. So we went for a while, and that was the only information that we had, was that there was a solo album being worked on. And then near the end of January, we learned that the solo album was probably going to come out in February. And then SM confirmed that it was indeed coming out in February. And then maybe a week ago, we got a rumor that it was coming out in the second week of February. SM confirmed that too. And then yesterday, everything happened. Like, the Amber Liu tag on Tumblr is where I go for most of my information on this because there's most likely somebody who is paying more attention to this stuff or knows Korean or is up in the hours of the day when I am asleep. And so if I just check that tag, normally I can keep up to date on the information. We're just like, oh my gosh, when is this happening? Like, there's not been any teaser images, there's not been anything. And I think it was either today or yesterday or something like that. Within the last like 2 or 3 days, Amber retweeted a photo that SM tweeted. And everyone was like, oh, maybe this is something to do with the debut. And then last night, everything started happening. Like, oh my gosh. We went from having maybe it'll come out in the second week of February, maybe, and a retweeted photo, to having a date and 2 teaser photos and a title. And then probably at like 10 or 11 p.m. tonight, I go on the Tumblr tag yet again, and you know what I see? I don't see a million different edits of these 2 comeback photos like I was expecting. I see another teaser image that tells the title of the first track on the album. And I also learned the information that not only is the album coming out on 16th, it is coming out digitally on the 13th. So yeah, I would have gone with the whole 5 obsessions, but the thing is, my mind is currently filled with 1 because everything is happening there right now. So yeah, if I am a babbling mess on the 13th or the 16th, you will know why. Okay, so now that I have finished completely fangirling on camera that's about to go on the internet, let's do some questions. So the question that you answered on Monday was, if you could only work on 1 project for the next year, what would it be? 1 project. Oh my gosh. I can barely stick with 1 project for like a week, let alone a year. I feel like I'd have to go with this project as well because then at least you can keep me on track and we can get it done together. So my phone died while I was in the middle of filming. In the meantime, I got really cold, so we have a sweatshirt and we have snacks. Okay, so now let's see what question I'm answering this week. Okay, we got a low number this time. So I got question number 5, which is... Oh my gosh. What chore do you absolutely hate doing? I think you know my answer. I do not like to clean my room. You know this. You've seen. Oh man. So exciting new send-off this week. You said you were coming home this weekend, and so I will see you either today or at some point this weekend. Okay, bye! I don't know.